Let's start from the beginning with a little background. Migration was part of Africa's very heartbeat. It's a story of survival, a search for destiny, and a journey that connects every single one of us. From the dawn of humankind to today's interconnected world, Africans have moved across lands, oceans, and borders for reasons that range from hope to heartbreak. To truly understand this epic story, we need to look at it in phases, starting right at the very beginning. So, let's journey back in time. From the cradle of humanity to the far corners of the earth, Africa isn't just a continent. It is humanity's birthplace. The story of every person watching this video, no matter where you are in the world, begins right here. History tells us that the earliest modern humans, our direct ancestors, emerged in East Africa more than 200,000 years ago. For thousands of generations, this was our only home. But we didn't stay put. From that starting point, we began to move, to migrate. This first great migration wasn't a rejection of Africa. It wasn't about escaping something broken. It was driven by the very essence of human nature, curiosity, necessity, and the instinct for survival. Think about the world back then. It was a planet of constant change. Massive ice ages would lock up the world's water, transforming lush landscapes into arid plains. Long, devastating droughts could make once fertile areas uninhabitable. These dramatic climate shifts were a powerful motivator. Our ancestors were smart. They had to follow the rain, seek out greener lands, and adapt to a changing environment to survive. They moved not because they wanted to leave, but because the earth itself was telling them to. Beyond the climate, there was a more immediate need: food. Early humans were skilled hunter-gatherers. Their lives were tied to the natural world. They followed the great herds of animals: mammoths, bison, and antelopes. They migrated across the vast savannas. They learned to read the seasons, to know when and where fruits would ripen and roots would be ready to harvest. Their migrations were a dance with nature, moving in rhythm with the sources of their sustenance. Following the food meant following life itself. And where there's life, there's water. Rivers were the highways of the ancient world. Great waterways like the Nile, the Niger, and the Congo were not just sources of drinking water. They were lifelines that created fertile valleys teeming with fish, birds, and plant life. Early human settlements naturally sprung up along these riverbanks and coastlines. As populations grew, groups would branch off, following tributaries, into new, unexplored territories, always staying close to the water that guaranteed their survival. But it wasn't all just about basic needs. There's another, more profound reason for this great dispersal: the human spirit. Imagine standing on a hill, looking out at a horizon you've never crossed. What lies beyond that mountain range? What new wonders, new challenges, and new opportunities are waiting just over the next river? This innate curiosity, this desire to explore and discover, is coded into our DNA. It's the same spirit that would eventually lead us to sail oceans, climb the highest peaks, and even reach for the stars. The first great journey out of Africa was humanity's first great adventure. So, when we talk about this initial migration, we must understand it wasn't a story of pain, but one of purpose. It was a natural expansion, a branching out of the human family tree. As Africans moved, they carried with them the spark of ingenuity, culture, and community. They adapted, innovated, and populated every corner of the globe. This is a fundamental truth we often forget. Every human being, regardless of race, nationality, or ethnicity, shares a common African origin. Deep within your genetic code is the story of these first explorers. Their journey is your journey. The courage and resilience of those first humans who stepped out of Africa into an unknown world is the shared inheritance of all humanity. Their story is our story. This was just the beginning of Africa's long and complex history of migration. In our next episode, we'll explore the other forms of migration which continued within the continent, leading to the expanding of Africans in different continents. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you found this fascinating, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.